Hi, everybody. This is Mateo. I am the youth program coordinator at youth program at Rainbow Resource Center, and today we're going to look at some communication skills. So let's get started. So there are a variety of ways to connect with others, but regardless of how we choose to communicate, we still find ourselves experiencing miscommunication. So in this presentation, we will be looking at effective ways of improving our communication. So today we will be covering active listening, perception, communication and relationships, and useful communication tips. So let's start with active listening. So one of the most important communication skills is listening. And active listening is so much more than just not talking. So active listening requires a genuine interest in what the other person is expressing. So active listening involves body language. So that's showing your attention to the person you're talking with, paying attention to what is being said and not just paying attention to your own thoughts, not passing judgment on what the other person is sharing with you, and also tolerating silence. So let's look at some common mistakes we make when we think we are listening. So sometimes we daydream or think about something else while another person is speaking. Sometimes we think about what to say next too much and we stop listening. Sometimes we judge what the other person is saying. And sometimes we listen with a specific goal or outcome in mind. Now I want to talk a little bit about perception. So what is perception? Well, perception is a process through which we select, organize, interpret, and remember our interactions and experiences. So why is perception important? Well, it's important because we all perceive the world differently, because we each experience the world differently. And that could be because of our culture, our family values, our beliefs, our own personal values that we develop, and so many more reasons. So now that you know a little bit about perception, we're going to look at perception checking. So what is perception checking? Well, perception checking is a useful way of checking in with the perception of others using perception checking statements. So perception checking statements are messages you create to check your understanding of someone else's words or behavior. So what are the benefits of perception checking? Well, perception checking helps us decode messages more accurately, because remember, our overall goal of communicating is a sense of mutual understanding. Perception checking helps us reduce feelings of defensiveness and lower the possibility of conflict. Perception checking helps us not make assumptions about what the other person's saying or their behavior. So there are three parts to perception checking. The first one is providing feedback to the other person on what you are seeing, hearing, or understanding. So our perception, right? The second part is to give at least two possible interpretations of what you perceive from your interaction. And finally, the third part is to make a request for clarification on how the other person would like you to understand things. So here's an example of what perception checking can look like. So first, remember, we're going to be describing any behavior we've noticed. So this is our example. When you walk out of the room without saying goodbye, I didn't know if you were mad at me or if you were in a hurry and forgot. So what's up? Or can we talk about it? So in the first one, description of behavior noticed. The second one was to offer two possible interpretations of the behavior. And the last one was to request clarification. So we did offer two possible interpretations, which was I didn't know if you were mad at me or if you were in a hurry and forgot. So we're giving the other person kind of the benefit of the doubt, not assuming that they had bad intentions when they left without saying goodbye. And finally, we asked for clarification whether we just misinterpreted their behavior or if maybe they are mad at you, right? We kind of want that clarification. So now that we've kind of talked about perception, we're going to move into communication relationships. So there's no way around it. When it comes to taking risks, like being in any kind of relationship, we risk rejection and feelings as a result of getting rejected. So there's no way around it. Getting rejected hurts, but it does happen to everyone at some point in their life. So getting rejected by a friend or partner doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It just means you weren't a good match for that particular person. But of course, sometimes getting rejected has nothing to do with you at all. But don't worry, you'll be a good match for someone else. So let's talk about taking risks. Uh, First, taking risks are good because they help us grow and develop new skills. So we take risks every day. So whether you are asking a crush out or asking someone new to hang out, these are risks because we cannot guarantee that our feelings will be reciprocated. So give yourself credit for stepping out of your comfort zone. Sometimes we allow our anxieties to get in the way of taking risks. Experiencing any type of rejection is painful and it can bring up a variety of emotions and reactions. So how do we deal with all the feelings? We feel the feelings. Allow yourself to experience what you're feeling. Hiding them or pushing them will only help delay the pain. Feelings are neither good nor bad. They are simply an indicator of how we're doing. So feelings may come in waves. Imagine yourself diving into the emotional wave. Let it come, observe it, and allow it to wash over you. So let's let it go. You don't need to experience this discomfort all on your own. So if you're finding yourself feeling overwhelmed, reach out to some trusted friends, family, or whoever you feel comfortable talking to. If you are feeling like you need to be alone, that's okay too. But do your best at reaching out when you do need to talk. So let's take a moment to look at boundaries and consent. So even though rejection hurts, it's important to respect the feelings of others. So if you ask someone to hang out and they said no, don't try to change their mind or pressure them into going out with you. You can't make someone like you, and everyone has the right to say no. So it might be tempting to get angry or tell them off, but that's just not a good idea. Insulting them definitely won't make them like you, and it can be hurtful to the other person. So instead of getting angry, this is a good opportunity to lean on your friends for support. Friends can make you feel validated, and also they're a good reminder of that people do care about you, right? So friends are a good place to go to when you do need that support, because it's also a good opportunity for them to tell you how amazing you are. So reaching out for support. So there are things we can do to help us ease our discomfort, but there are not definitive guidelines on how we should take care of ourselves or manage our thoughts and feelings. However, it's always a good idea to reach out to people we trust and who can offer us support. Support can be offered by friends, family, but they can also be formal. So like teachers or counselors, or if you do come to the youth program, our participant support coordinator, Joey, would be the perfect person to talk to. Of course, I'm also available if you do ever need someone to chat with. So let's look at useful communication tips. So remember, open, honest communication should be part of every relationship. And in this section, we will be looking at ways to open the channels of communication. Okay, so number one, find the right time to talk. So try to find a time when both you and the other person are calm and not distracted, stressed, or in a rush. It may be helpful to schedule a time to talk. Talk face to face. So text messages, letters, and emails can be misinterpreted. Talk in person so there aren't any unnecessary miscommunications. If you're having trouble collecting your thoughts, consider writing them down ahead of time and reading them out loud when you are with the other person. Do not attack. So even when we mean well, we can sometimes come across as harsh because of our word choice. So using you can sound like you're attacking, which will make your friend or partner defensive and less receptive to your message. So instead, try using I or we. So for example, you can say something like, I feel like we haven't been as close lately, instead of you've been distant with me. Be honest. Sometimes the truth hurts, but it's the key to a healthy relationship. Admit to your mistakes and apologize when you make them instead of making excuses. You will feel better and it will strengthen your relationship. Check your body language. Let your friend or partner know you're listening by giving them your full attention. So if you can, face them and make eye contact. This is not a good time to take a call or text a friend or to play a game, especially if it's an important conversation. Share your feelings and forgive. So if your friend or partner does something that is upsetting to you, it's a good idea to tell them because they cannot read your mind. If you don't speak up when you're upset, there's no way for them to apologize or for them to consider changing their behavior. And this doesn't have to be something you need to do immediately, but take some time to really reflect on the importance of sharing your feelings and being honest. So once you talk about your feelings, and if your friend or partner apologizes, and you do forgive them, it's a good thing to just kind of let it go and not hold on to those things. So how to communicate if you're angry? It's okay to get angry. Everyone gets angry. But what is important is that you resolve conflicts in a healthy way. So when we are feeling overwhelmed, communicating can be really challenging. So we're going to look at some steps that will help you feel control over some of your options. So these are the steps to take if you get angry with your friend or your partner. So if you get overwhelmed during an interaction, this is a good time to take a step back and breathe. Tell your friend or partner that you'd like to take a break from continuing this conversation. Taking a break can definitely keep the situation from getting worse. Excuse me. So give yourself time to calm down by doing something else, whether that be taking a walk, meditating, watching TV, talking with a friend. Do whatever helps you feel relaxed. And once you are feeling calm, think about the situation and why you got angry. Was it how your partner or friend spoke to you? Was it something they did? Figure out the problem, and think about your feelings, and then how to explain that to your friend or partner in a way that they can kind of understand your perspective. So once you're ready, consider talking with your friend or partner. But if you're feeling overwhelmed, I don't encourage you to try and talk when you're feeling overwhelmed. This is a good opportunity to maybe talk with someone else first, whether that be a friend or whoever you're comfortable with. But after you tell your friend or partner how you feel, remember to stop talking and to also listen what they have to say. You both deserve the opportunity to express how you feel in a safe and healthy environment. So expect them to also kind of share, and hopefully they took that time to really kind of reflect on why they were maybe getting mad too. Okay, so that's it. There are many aspects of communication that we didn't cover today, but the information we did cover is a really good starting point. So communication or communicating can feel hard at times, but don't be discouraged. Everyone at some point in time experiences some challenges when it comes to getting their message across. It's kind of inevitable. And remember what we covered, and to be patient with yourself and with those you are interacting with, because at the end of the day, we're all just trying our best. And here are some of the sources I used to gather some of this information. I will also be posting that so you can easily access too, because these ideas were definitely not mine. But thank you so much for checking out the video today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.